Hi there, I'm Dean Heskin, President and CEO of Swiss America Trading, and you are tuned in to our podcast, The Secret War on Cash. I have with me today my co-host, Chris Agelastos, who's here to talk with us and discuss a little bit about what's been going on or what is going to be going on in the economy coming into the end of 2024 here and
Yeah,
the beginning of 2025 or on through the year of 2025. So good morning, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for being here as always. So, 2024, we're almost done. Year is coming to a rapid conclusion, and we're about to embark upon a new presidential administration through Trump version 2, as they're referring to it as. Let's talk about what's going on. A lot's been going on actually for a guy who hasn't even taken office yet. There seems to be no shortage of news and dealings and positionings and things of that nature. And as we see in this first article here, China may buy more gold as Trump returns to office. And
Yep.
they're talking about China recently purchased 160,000 ounces after a 6-month pause. China is obviously in the forefront of what's been happening with BRICS, and this article talks about how Trump has been very, very pointed, very specific in terms of China, Russia, these BRICS nations, how they need to be more supportive of the dollar. I should expect some repercussions or some, but of making sure that they're kind of buffered in, if you will, against whatever moves may happen. So what do you think here, Chris? Is China buying gold? Do you think it's going to be something that uh, is being done in a anti-Trump effort, or is it something that's being done just to make their own economy strong? What are they looking to accomplish here?
Well, I don't know if it's. I mean, I wouldn't say anti-Trump, but they're certainly wanting to shield themselves and maybe take away some of his leverage, right, or give themselves some more leverage. And um, he hasn't been shy, right? Like you said, he comes right out of the gate. He's not even in office yet. He's already talking about trade with our partners and making sure that things are more fair for the United States. And so they're obviously listening and taking heed. And what this does, purchasing gold allows them to distance themselves a bit more from the U.S. dollar. And what I found interesting, I didn't realize they had this much, but they have 73 million ounces that they have reported in their reserve vaults. So 73 million. When I try to picture 73 million, 1 ounce gold coins, I'm not sure. I'm sure they're using large bars, but it's just it's impressive, and they're continuing to add to that. And this is just going to give them additional layers of protection and distance from the dollar. But it's also very good for gold prices, and it's strong demand. There was already strong demand, and all of this international purchasing is only going to help. And this is where we should really be pushing that $3,000 level very soon from this stand and all the other things going on in the world.
Well, you're right, and we're going to get into that actually here in just a moment. But the I do, as I look through this article here, and it talks about how China, as most of these nations, they're anticipating some form of a trade war with the U.S. when the Trump
Yeah.
administration gets in, and honestly, if Trump is wanting to hold the line with these countries, I don't know how we wouldn't have one
Hmm.
because there's already the kind of the horse is already out of the barn, if you will. So
Yeah.
for them to do what Trump wants to do, it would be to some extent in many areas kind of an about face in terms of what they're going to do, not only economically and financially, but what it'll do to their country. And so it's not a small ask Trump has, and so it's
Right.
the feasibility of doing it, number one, and number two. the desirability to do it on these other nations. And that's, again, that's why I don't know if there's any way of avoiding, some form of a trade war. Now, gold
Yeah.
going to 3,000 an ounce on our next article here, as it entitled, Will Gold Ever Hit 3,000 an ounce? And the survey says yes. And what's interesting about this is it's not just somebody making a prediction, somebody just throwing a number out there. If you get into this article, I'll let you kind of explain it a little bit, but
Hmm.
the 50-year gold chart is telling us exactly this is what's going to happen. And let me tell you, the projections or predictions for gold have been, you can't say they're spot on, because I mean, bear in mind, some people have even been talking 5,000 an ounce gold, even in the tens of thousands when they monetize it to what our debt levels are. But $3,000 an ounce gold, $3,000 an ounce gold, is that believable? Is that doable, Chris?
Yeah, it's very reasonable, and that's what they're showing here with these charts. Is we're already in the $2,600 range. They the charts show that we really, even if we saw a little bit of a pullback right now, let's say going into the end of the year, they're saying we should still hold above 2482, which let's just call that $2,500, and we're at about 2630 ish right now. So there's very little downside risk right now, and a lot of momentum going towards 3,000, which again is very reasonable here. In fact, so reasonable so that they have revised their estimates of when that's going to happen. They were saying February to August of 26, so a little over a year now from now, and now they're saying April to May of 25. So sometime in the next, 4 to 7 months, they're expecting us to hit this $3,000 mark. And a lot of it is this central bank hoarding and buying that we were just talking about. And we were speaking of China, but a lot of the central banks have been buying and gobbling up metal. And then obviously, any escalation of conflicts and geopolitical uncertainties, we're seeing that on the news almost every day. And the U.S. has continued to, print and spend money and debase the dollar. So all of these things are momentum boosters for gold. So to go from the 2,600 range to 3,000 really is not unbelievable at all. It's just a matter of, is it going to be a few months or 6 months? But I mean, that's where we're headed.
Well, and bear in mind, literally a year ago from right now is when we're looking at gold prices at the $2,000 mark. And part of the thing we
Yeah.
might be seeing with even the pullback right now is people could be taking some profits, because
Yeah.
you're talking with gold at 2,500, the people who bought it a year ago, you're talking a 25% increase.
Yeah.
And it's been one of the, as it's been for years now, one of the best performing asset classes out there. Not only is it a good
That's right.
protectionary asset, but it's actually been a good profitable asset as well. So
Yeah.
probably a combination of a few things out there. Well, if people tuning in, Chris, want to know more about learn more about the gold market, learn how to buy gold, or more about what's going on in our financial markets as a whole, what could they do?
Reach out to us. We've got a lot of materials, really geared towards education. Educating somebody that might be newer to this, that wants to learn how does it fit into their portfolio, how does it work, how can they protect themselves. Give us a call at 800-289-2646. You can also send a text to that number. I know that's how I do a lot of my communicating these days. It's nice and easy. Or visit the website, swissamerica.com. We've got multiple form entries there where you can enter some of your contact information. We will not hound you. We do not sell your info. We will not put you on a bunch of marketing lists. We're just simply there to get you the materials you're looking for, answer any questions you have, and help you figure out if this should be a viable part of your portfolio moving forward.
Well, thank you for that. And two more questions. Chris, if people are not subscribed to this podcast, should they?
Absolutely. Subscribe, hit the like button, subscribe, assuming you like our content, and we hope you do. Also, be sure to leave comments so we know how you feel and what your thoughts are on these issues.
All right, then question number two, if they're not following us on social media, should they do that?
I would definitely say follow us on social media.
There you go. Chris has spoken. Thank you so much, and thank you for all the information. Thank you for those who took the time out of your day to tune in. Please subscribe, please follow us, and we look forward to talking to you more in the future as we head into the holiday time and get ready to embrace our new year of 2025. So again, thanks for tuning in and have a great rest of your week.
Thanks a lot.